Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I'm going to be doing some actual real reloading for you guys, teaching you guys some things, and rather than just my reloading chats. Alright, today I am stepping up my load data. Now a lot of you guys know from previous videos that we had some issues with the loads being way too soft, and I thought it was going to be somewhat corrected when I stepped up the load data, built Vivian, new rifle, unbroken in rifle mind you, with a faster rate of twist than the other one I was shooting for the same caliber. So normally that would show signs of possibly a little more pressure. We didn't see that. We didn't see that at all. In fact, even Vivian running Ramshot tack. And for those who don't know what Vivian is, that's the new AR build, the 18-inch barrel Daniel Defense build. Running Ramshot tack at 25.3 grains, which is 0.8 grains over recommended starting load from both Ramshot and Lead Precision for the bullets I'm using, because we're running Lake City brass and 5.56 Nato with Hornady 55 grain boat tail full metal jackets. Again, a very inexpensive plinking load that's very accurate for the price. Very inexpensive shooting. Now, what I did to determine that we had data, that we had rounds that were just too soft, I showed you guys the primers the other day. There was still complete rounding of the edge of the primer, no flattening of the primers. My bolt carrier was extremely dirty. Bolt carrier group, seeing a lot of soot down the muzzle, a lot of muzzle flash still. Again, a sign that our pressure is low. In addition to all that, these cartridges, which I didn't show you guys, were getting excessively dirty, a lot of them around the necks. Again, means they're not sealing properly because there's too low of an initial pressure. So we stepped up. I bought a bunch of new stuff, guys, and I'm sorry about that. It doesn't work right. It works, but apparently I got the wrong adapters, and I bought something I can use to meter this really fast, but apparently I have to use my seating die to thread it into. Well, I can't make bullets at the same time I charge if I do that, so I'm going to have to get an additional 223 or 5.56 seating die if I want to run this thing as a progressive press for you guys to speed this up, and I'll probably have to do that coming up soon. So in the meantime, I'm going to use lead dippers, and we're going to step up to the next set. I was running with this stuff for the Ramshot tack. I was running 1.7 cc's off the lead dippers, which brings us to 25.3 grains with Ramshot tack. However, now I'm going to go to 1.8 because that's kind of the next step up, and the next step after that would put me past the maximum load. This puts us at 26.8 grains, which we're very safe to go up a big jump like that. Some people would be like, wow, that's like an 8% or 7% increase in charge, but we're showing signs of under pressure, not even just safe pressure, we're under pressure. So it's very safe to jump up that much. In fact, I would have considered going ahead and going to a max load if I had the ways to measure it all accurately without using 3 different dips. I could have done it with 3 dips using my 0.17. I'm worried about accuracy doing that. I'm going to wait till we can use the metered one, and I'll put 300 rounds or so of this downrange with this next step up. I think this is going to get us well into the accuracy range that we want. A lot of you guys notice when I do these lead dippers, though, I use a strike card to strike them up. That is the way to get the most consistent accuracy, some sort of business card, credit card to strike the tops off. And with these, because I'm going to 1.8, I'm having to use a 1.3 and a 0.5 cc or milliliter, it's the same thing, because there is no 1.8. They go 1.6 to 1.9, and obviously 1.9 would put us past the manufacturer's recommended max load. We're not ready to do that yet. Now, noticing the way the pressure is going in this rifle, this particular rifle might safely handle going beyond the max load, but I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just not seeing any benefits to me doing that. I'm getting above average velocity already for an AR pattern rifle with a longer barrel. No need to push it, even if I want to build self-defense rounds. So last one of these, we'll have 5 of these, and then we'll seat some of these. I'm also predicting, I'm hoping that we go to 100% charge here. We're going to get real close. I'm a big fan of compressed loads. And I think if we go any hotter than this, we're going to be at a compressed load. I'm going to find out in just a minute when we seat this first one, but I've got 5. They're definitely fuller than they were with 1.7 cc's. So we're going to see how they do. And I still have left this whole press setup. I've loaded nothing but 5.56 on it. So I'm still set up with the exact same specifications for seating and everything, because I haven't gone over and done any 308 lately. I've got around 500 rounds of 308 sitting around right now that I haven't fired, and only 100 pieces of used brass. So I'm not in a hurry to load any of that. So that looks good. We're right in the canalier. Let me crimp it. Hit her again. All right, we're going to check this just to be sure we're good so that we don't ruin more than one round, but I believe everything should be fine because we're set on the same spot we were. And I'm trying to run these down to the minimum because, again, trying to get enough pressure, I was running these out longer, simply not working. So I'm running these down to the minimum length. Remember, the deeper you seat the bullet, the more pressure you get. All right, we're going to have problems with these calipers today. They do not want to behave. Re-zero this. 0. All right, what's going on? There we go. So I'm trying to keep these at about 2.2 inches instead of 2.25, which is what I was originally loading to. And because that puts it a little further into the canalier, the neck, it lets me crimp them a little tighter. So again, trying to get higher starting pressures. My calipers are giving me hell today. I'm going to need to check these out later. All right. We're at 2.21. I wanted to be at 2.2, but you know, let me double check my 0. Yeah, we're good. So they're sitting at 2.21 instead of 2.2. I'll work with that. We're just going to run this whole batch at that for consistency purposes. And got a little surprise coming for you guys. You guys have noticed I've been wearing the same glasses for years on camera. I need to go in Monday and try to get some new glasses. My prescription is out and I've been shooting with 0 magnification. I've still gotten some sub 1 inch groups, at least one of which you guys have seen recently, with no magnification using a red dot with a 5-year-old prescription. That's really dumb of me to be trying to shoot with a 5-year-old prescription, but hey, it makes it more challenging. Oh, let's check and see. Yep, it sounds like we have a full case finally. I'm hoping this full case, instead of a compressed load sometimes get a little lower starting pressure. I'm hoping with this full case we're going to be good. And I think after I go through, I've got about 9 pounds of Ramshot tack left. I might go to Ramshot Exterminator, which is slightly fluffier but faster. So I can end up getting some faster burning powder, but we'll see how these do. We're going to see how these do. But I am considering stepping up to a slightly faster powder. Everyone acts like this Ramshot tack is really fast, even for 55 grain. I'm not finding it to be. With anything under a full case, I'm struggling to see anywhere near ideal pressures. I'm showing signs of low pressures, even with a 1 in 7 twist barrel, a fast twist barrel. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I come from a different school of thought with hand loading, but it sure seems to me like this is not a particularly fast powder for 5.56 NATO. In fact, I might even consider this a better ideal accuracy powder for heavier bullets. I'd consider running this with 69 or 75 grain match rounds. And I know that seems a lot of people wouldn't agree with that with what I see people doing online, but having loaded so much hand loading over the years in bolt guns, when I consider that I'm struggling with this with a 55 grain, I have to go to a full case, no compression, but a full case just to get proper pressures, and we haven't even tested that yet. We're assuming we're going to get proper pressures. I mean, we're like 2% off, 3% off from a max load now. But I'm having to go to a full case with the bullet run all the way in to the minimum safe overall length to get adequate pressure. And if I'm a little bit under 0.1 cc's under a full case, I'm getting soft loads that are so soft that they're not sealing properly, that there's no deformation of the primers, and that's leaving the rifle dirty with a ball powder that should be clean, really dirty, and shooting fire. That's a problem, especially when you consider that this is still a shorter barrel platform. An 18-inch barrel is actually short still for a 5.56. I know TAC guys in the TAC community, because of what they've been doing for the last decade, don't understand that. They don't see it that way. But from a hand loading perspective, that's a short barrel. I should not need, with a powder that's considered fast, I shouldn't need a full case to see maximum pressures. And I think if I want to, then again, so if that's the case, I'm not maximizing on a short barrel, meaning I am probably running too fast of a powder to get really an ideal burn out of even an 18-inch barrel, and certainly not a 16-inch. So it's probably going to be time for me to think about stepping up to X-Terminator for these lighter plinking rounds, and then for heavier match bullets sticking with this TAC. And I know some people feel like it's too fast for that. It shouldn't be. When I look at the load data, this is going to give you a full case with a 69 grain Sierra or a 75 grain Hornady match round. Again, this should give you a full case when you get close to a maximum load. So I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. So yeah, I think that for me in the future, at least with my rifles and the pressures I'm seeing personally, again with these newer brand, I've never used this brand before, but with what I'm seeing, it seems to me that Ramshot TAC is going to be the better choice for me for the heavier bullets, and then maybe the Exterminator might do better for these lighter bullets. But I'll experiment around and find out, and maybe it's just my rifles personally. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.